Hello guys again. Vovo's Adventures Brazil Season 23. And today we are going to go for episode 2. Episode 2 is about a toucan. About a toucan, and let's go for it. The largest toucan in the world. By the way, in Portuguese we call tucano, but I will continue to say toucan for your sake, okay? Let's go for it. In my daily walks around south of Brazil, I take many pictures of birds. This is an owl, beautiful, and it kind of mingles, camouflage with environment, and so avoiding predators, I believe. And then we have the seagull that was having his breakfast on the beach. One more picture of the seagull. He likes to eat fish, as most of you know. And then this is a woodpecker. They call pica-pau in Portuguese. But this is one that they call pica-pau or woodpecker of the woods. It was not the ones that goes in the highs. He likes to eat some things, some insects on the ground. And this is a hawk. It looks like the red tail hawk that we have in California. I didn't identify this yet. Next time when I got more pictures of this guy, I might get more information about it. It's a beautiful animal or bird. And then the famous Jasana. This is the best picture I was able to take of this bird. I mentioned last time that this is the Bigfoot bird. You see, look at his foot here. His foot here, it looks like the size of my hands. And he is big because he has to go over plants that are floating in the water. Jasana. And then the couple of owls. On the right you have the male, and on the left, I believe it is the female. Beautiful animals. But then a friend told me of a toucan, and I was a little puzzled about that. And he said that there is a toucan bird in the proximities of the top, on the top of an antenna tower. And then I knew about that tower. I have been there many times, and I will show you why. But I was not sure about that. Toucans were supposed to be in Amazon, not in south of Brazil. And we don't have many jungles, many forests as we have in Amazon. And that was my understanding. And then I was not believing too much. But as he was a good guy, and then I got my camera and I decided, let's go for it. Let's go for the tucano, or the toucan. Tucano is in Portuguese. Then I went to the tower that I knew. I went to the tower because in that tower I already found some other birds, as I'm showing the next slides. And then on the top of this tower, there was a bunch of antennas, and there is a nest, as you can see. Let me see if I can show you this. There is a nest here that is from another bird, and I'm gonna show you in the next slide. But right above that nest, I found a toucan. And then I say, my goodness, there is a toucan here. And the reason that he was there is because of this bird here called caturrita or cocota. This is nothing else than the Myopsita monachus. Okay, forget about the scientific name, but this is a parakeet, or called the quacker parrot or monk parakeet. Is native of South America. We have tons of those here where I was, and but they are also present in some places in North America in the wild, because probably they got in captivity some of these birds that are very popular here, and they spread there and they escaped the captivity. We have one of them in one family of them, in fact, a bunch of them living in Menton, close where my son used to live, and about 2 or 3 miles from my house. And they used to cross over my house sometimes in North America, in close to Redlands. A bunch of them flying because they make a big noise when they fly. Okay, so they are living in that place where we found the toucan. They were living, they have a nest there. I have another picture of the nest with holes on it, and so they like to make their nest in higher places. And that's what they did in that tower. But the toucan, unfortunately, he knew about that. Here we have another picture with parakeets, the monk parrot, playing or having fun around their nest. But they were not very happy when the toucan show up, because in fact the toucan eat their pets, their chicks and their eggs. And that's why he was there. Unfortunately, he was good for me because I could get a good picture of him, of it. But it was not good for the parakeets, because they wanna. It was a couple. I just get a picture of this one, but the couple was already inside of the nest making a mess there. But then I got a problem. So what is this toucan doing in south of Brazil? Remember, I mentioned that toucans should be in the area of Amazon. Let me show here. This is Brazil. Almost half of Brazil is Amazon. I am here in the top of this arrow here. And this green area is the areas that we have toucans. That is part of Brazil, that is Amazon. And then we have a little bit in Bolivia, in Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, and the 3 Guyanas. So those are the northwest part of Brazil and of South America. Well, so how is that possible that we have toucans down here? Do you think they could migrate here? Well, in fact, not really, but I will show you what I found. Here we have another picture of my friend, the toucan Toco. That's his name, or the Toco toucan. It's a marvelous animal, and is the biggest. I will show you. Is the biggest species of toucan that we have, and is the favorite toucan is one of the favorite birds in zoos around the world. Well, sorry about that. I mean, I prefer to see it in the wild. Even though this picture is on a tower, it looks like he is in captivity, but he was free to go wherever he wants. One more picture. Here, a little closer. Beautiful bird. Then I figured out that this is nothing else than the Rampastas toco. Rampastas, this is the scientific language, means big bird, like a sword. And then Toco means a tree, a hollow of the tree, because he makes his nest inside of the tree hollow. So there was even a stamp that was in '83, a stamp with Tucano Toco, or Tucano Sul, the other name that they call it, that is common in native from the south of Brazil, and I didn't know that. I was born there, but I didn't know this. So here you see it. You see the area that he is. So is the size of this animal is 25 inches. His beak is 7.5 inches. His weight is almost 2 pounds, and is the biggest toucan. And it's not extinct. It's in terms of environment or in terms of species threatened. He is not in the big concern. He's not threatened to extinction. So the area that we found this toucan, as you see here, I was right here in this part here, and there is this north of Rio Grande do Sul, south of Brazil. So this is the area. In fact, this toucan barely have some of them in northern part of Brazil, not in the whole Amazon, but certain areas of Amazon here, close to Guyana, close to Suriname, another Guyana there, and then close to Amapá, another part of Brazil in the north. But most of it goes from the central part of Brazil, São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro a little bit, and then Paraná, Santa Catarina, and the north of Argentina, Paraguay, a little bit on Bolivia, maybe a little too big of a part of Bolivia, and then there is another area narrow here that goes to Argentina too. So those are the areas of these toucans. So I found an animal that I didn't know that was there. Since I was born and we have toucans around, I never seen this bird. First time in my life I saw this bird in the environment, in nature. So that was something exciting. I'm telling you. So I did some research there. I mean, the size of it is 25 of the Tucano Toco, 25 inches. I compare it to an eagle, bald eagle. Bald eagle has 36 inches, so it's a little bigger than the Tucano, at least 10 inches more, 11 inches more. But in terms of beak, the Tucano beat the eagle very far. 7.5 inches compared to 1.6 inches in the eagle. Let's see the size of the wings. The wingspan of the Tucano is 5 feet, quite big, but cannot compare to the bald eagle that can go to 8 feet long. Can you believe that? If an eagle goes in a position different, that kind of vertical position with his wings, he goes to 8 feet. He is bigger than the biggest man, bigger than Shaquille O'Neal. 8 feet wingspan of an eagle. Isn't that amazing? But let's go back to our toucan. You might have seen this Toucan Sam in the Fruit Loops. They put this Tucano there as the one that promoting the cereal from Kellogg's. I don't have anything to do with that, but I was not finding any toucans that are blue. My toucans are all black. And I'm not sure if toucans will eat this kind of food, Fruit Loops. By the way, just be careful because it has 25 grams of carbohydrates, so not that good for health, and just 1 gram of fiber. Come on, even though they say that is whole grain, the amount of cereal is 1 gram per serving. 1 gram is not that much. We like to have more fiber. If you have more fiber, you have more fresh and fruits and in fruits and in grains, and you have a healthier food. Let's move on. Here, a summary of my pictures. There are 22 species of toucans in Brazil. In fact, Brazil is the biggest toucan place in the world. I mean, in terms of variety, they have, I believe my son went to Costa Rica, and Costa Rica has 6 or 8 species, comparing to 22, and comparing to the ones that we see in the middle here, the toucan Toco, that is the biggest one of them. See some varieties of toucan. You can see here that you don't have, at least I didn't find anyone with the body, the blue body. Though most of them are black, or some of them are greenish and with some red. This Tucano has a reddish part in the bottom. The Tucano Toco is the biggest one in the family of Tucanos, as I mentioned. And it has a beak that is yellowish and with a kind of a fire color here in the bottom, and has a small spot in the beak that identifies and differentiates of all other toucans, because no other toucans has this small spot on their beaks. Let's see now. What he eats. He eats insects, lizards, eggs, and other birds' pets. That's why he was eating. Unfortunately, he was eating in the parakeet's nest. That's not a good food, but he likes mostly fruits. In this case, you have a tucano on a palm tree eating those dates or something like that he likes, and you see here. So if they have fruits, they are happy. And this is my last slide. I believe that toucanos and all birds and maybe all animals were vegetarians. So what happened then? And how can I prove that they were vegetarians? Because when God created them in the beginning, so this is found in Genesis 1:30, God said, "And to all the beasts of the earth, and all the birds in the sky, and all the creatures that move along the ground, everything that has the breath of life in it, I give every green plant for food." So they should be vegetarian. They should be the ones that were eating the vegetables that were created for the animals. So what happened then? You might ask me, why they are eating now birds and bird chicks and eggs? Why? What happened? Well, if you have been to the forest that these birds are, and I have one close forest close by, and I go there almost every day. And then in there we don't have any fruits. So one of the reasons that they became more carnivores and start eating other meats or other animals is because they didn't have fruits all the time. They didn't have vegetables all the time. So now is winter in Brazil. I went to that forest. There was no fruits at all. If they like to eat fruits, they would not find any during a long period of time, at least for 3 months. So they might die on that time. So maybe during times that they didn't have other types of foods, or fruits or vegetables available, they start eating meat. Maybe the same thing happened to human beings. Who knows? But this is about the toucan. Wasn't that exciting to know that in the place that I was born in Brazil, they have the biggest toucan in the world? Thank you very much, and I will see you in another episode of the Brazil 23 series of Vovo Adventures. Bye bye, guys.